I worshipped a demon Jesus, like many Christians do and without knowing. And this is something I want to explain to you today. So, I had a dream the other day, and I saw a man with hair split in the middle, hair reaching to the shoulders, mid-sized beard, big blue eyes, prominent cheekbones, hair that is of the color of blonde color, kind of dark blonde, something like that, white clothes. And first thought I had was, this is Jesus, because I felt like a really loving presence and it felt familiar on top of that. And this person really had the appearance of the man of the shroud, if you know the Holy Shroud. It was the exact copy of the spectrum that we see on the negative image of the Shroud of Turin. And I was able to approach this man during my dream. He came really close to me and I was allowed to touch his hands, but something was really off. His hands, they were black like charcoal. They were black like from the tip of the hand to around here. It was completely black like charcoal, like the charcoal you use for a barbecue, same color. After waking up to that dream, I was so happy. I felt like, hey, I saw Jesus in the dream. What a joyful event. Actually, I still had a bit of confusion about that dream. In talking to some people, I realized later on that it was actually a demon. The black hands should have gave me a hint that I didn't take. But just like many people, I was fooling myself with a false image of God I had. So this is what this fake ghost of Jesus I saw in my dream represented. It represented a false, distorted image of God I had in my mind, created by demons. And I was worshipping it all along. It wasn't only in this dream, but also before, when I went to church. I'm considering myself a serious Christian. I used to go to church very often, even outside of Sunday. And just like many Christians, I was going to church, but I wasn't really worshipping the true God. I had a false perception of God, and on top of that, I was having an idolatry of religion. And I was completely off. I wasn't worshipping God in truth and spirit because I was still sinning, I guess, because I was an idolater of religion. And just like many Christians, I had this false image of Jesus being very forgiving and allowing all kind of stuff in your life. Oh, it's okay to sin, he's going to forgive me, etc. This kind of lies, or I'm going to go to confession, it's going to be okay. But it's not okay. As long as I am in a state of grace, I'm going to be saved. If I die tomorrow, I'm fine. I am baptized, etc., etc. But this is not walking the narrow path. This is taking a path that demons are giving you as illusion. This is a false image of God, false perception that salvation is easy. But we are commanded to love God with all our strength, not just being in a state of grace and you go do your life and on Sunday you go to church just to tick the box. It doesn't work like that. You're worshipping a false God, a false image of God that you're either building yourself or that you're accepting from demons. And it can happen to everyone. I was a serious Christian. I used to say not the rosary, but 1/3 of the rosary every day. I used to go to church sometimes on Saturday to go pray. I was very serious and I was fooled during all those years that it's okay, I'm going to be saved, and if I do this and do that, I'm going to be saved. But this is a false image of God. It doesn't work like that. The standard with God is always very high. So that's why you're putting all your hopes in Jesus, so He can absolve you of your remaining sins, because it's never going to be enough, whatever you do. So I've said that, but don't use that as an excuse not to go all in and do whatever you can You should still work your salvation with fear and tremble. This is what you should be doing. This is the image of God you should have. Yes, He is loving. Yes, He's going to do everything so you can be saved. But you also have to put up the work and suffer, put some sacrifice. Do the commandments, Matthew 5, 6, 7, every day, until you get confirmation. This is where you have to do something with Jesus. This is where when you get the confirmation. You can go to church every day, do the rosary. If you don't get any confirmation, this is probably because you're still in the idolatry phase of religion or of external practices. You're still reading books. You're putting books and studies and accumulation of knowledge on a pedestal. So I talked already about idolatry of religion in another video. But I want to bring this supplement in. This dream I had is just a confirmation that many Christians and myself were worshipping a fake Jesus. We're worshipping a false image of God. So beware. Beware, it can happen to everyone, including yourself. Make sure you don't sin so you can see the truth. Make sure to walk the narrow path every day. Keep striving.